and don't allow the day here inside where I hide.
Lennon and McCartney became the most celebrated songwriting duo in history. But not every song they wrote ended up on a Beatles album. Some of their best compositions were handed to other artists, launching careers and topping charts around the world. Here are 10 Beatles songs that were written for other artists. Number 10, I Wanna Be Your Man by the Rolling Stones.
I wanna be your lover, baby. I wanna be your man. Tell me.
In September 1963, two young songwriters walked into Studio 51 in London and finished a song in 20 minutes flat. John Lennon and Paul McCartney handed the track directly to the Rolling Stones, giving their future rivals a career-defining boost. The song became the Stones' second single, climbing to number 12 on the UK charts. The gesture had lasting consequences. Watching Lennon and McCartney compose so effortlessly inspired Mick Jagger and Keith Richards to form their own songwriting partnership. The Beatles began recording their own version the very next day, before the Stones had even laid down theirs, and it appeared on their second album. History remembers this as the moment two legendary bands crossed paths, with one jump-starting the other's creative ambitions.
Tell me that you love me, baby. Tell me understand.
Number 9, Sour Milk Sea by Jackie Lomax.
I do it soon, but you don't have love.
Three Beatles in the studio backing the same track. That alone makes this 1968 single a collector's dream. George Harrison wrote the song during the band's famous stay in Rishikesh, India, then handed it to Apple Records artist Jackie Lomax for his debut release. Harrison produced the session himself. Paul McCartney played bass. Ringo Starr handled drums. Eric Clapton contributed guitar alongside Nicky Hopkins on piano. The hard-rocking single should have been a smash. Instead, Apple released it the same week as Hey Jude, burying Lomax's debut beneath the biggest single of the year. Bruce Spicer later called it a great rock single doomed by terrible timing. Lomax never recovered commercially, but the recording remains a tantalizing glimpse of what could have been. Number 8, A World, Without Love by Peter and Gordon.
Come, I know not when she does, I lose, so baby, until then.
Number 1 in both America and Britain. Not bad for a song Paul McCartney considered unworthy of the Beatles. In 1964, McCartney was living at the Asher family home in London while dating actress Jane Asher. Her brother Peter happened to be half of the pop duo Peter and Gordon. McCartney played them a song he had written at 16, one the Beatles had repeatedly passed over. Peter and Gordon released it as their debut single in February 1964. Within weeks, it topped the UK singles chart and the Billboard Hot 100. The track launched their international career, eventually selling over 1 million copies. McCartney had written it years earlier, never imagining it would become someone else's signature hit.
Inside where I hide with my loneliness.
Number 7, Bad to Me by Billy J. Kramer with the Dakotas.
No intention of letting you go, just as long as you let me know.
Written during one of rock's most whispered about trips. In April 1963, John Lennon vacationed in Spain with Beatles manager Brian Epstein. The rumors about their relationship persisted for decades. Lennon addressed them directly in 1980, calling it almost a love affair, but not quite. During that trip, Lennon composed Bad to Me, later handing it to fellow Epstein client Billy J. Kramer. The single shot to number 1 in the UK in August 1963, giving Kramer his first chart topper. The Lennon-McCartney credit helped establish the duo's reputation as hitmakers beyond their own band. Kramer would score several more hits with their compositions, but this remains the most intriguing origin story of any song in their catalog.
The birds in the sky won't be sad and lonely 'cause they know that I've got my one and only.
Number 6, Woman by Peter and Gordon.
Woman,
a deliberate experiment in anonymity. By 1966, Paul McCartney had written multiple hits for Peter and Gordon. Critics suggested the duo only succeeded because of the Lennon-McCartney name. McCartney decided to test that theory by writing under a pseudonym. He composed Woman and credited it to Bernard Webb, a fictional songwriter who existed only on paper. Peter and Gordon released the single without any Beatles. Connection advertised.
Do it, and you know how much I love.
It climbed to number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100, proving McCartney's songwriting could succeed independently of his famous partnership. The deception lasted months before the truth emerged. McCartney had made his point. The song worked on its own merits, and the fictional Bernard Webb quietly disappeared from music history.
If you need me, then believe me, I need you.
Before we continue, which Beatles deep cut deserves more recognition? Did you own any Peter and Gordon records back in the day? Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Number 5, Come and Get It by Badfinger.
If you want it anytime, I can give it, but you better hurry.
Recorded in under an hour. Paul McCartney wrote the song for the 1969 film The Magic Christian, starring Peter Sellers and Ringo Starr, then handed it to Welsh rockers Badfinger with explicit instructions. He had already recorded a demo during the Abbey Road sessions and wanted Badfinger to copy it exactly. They followed his directions precisely. The result became Badfinger's breakthrough single, reaching number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 in early 1970.
Make your mind up fast if you want it.
McCartney produced the track himself at Abbey Road Studios. His original demo remained unreleased until the Anthology 3 compilation in 1996. The song launched Badfinger's career as Apple Records' most promising signing, though tragedy would later overshadow their early promise. Number 4, I'm the Greatest by Ringo Starr.
Then when I was a teenager, I knew that I had got something going.
The only time 3 Beatles reunited in the studio after the breakup. John Lennon wrote the song, borrowing Muhammad Ali's famous catchphrase for the title. He knew immediately that he could never sing it himself. The boastful lyrics only worked coming from the band's most lovable member. Ringo recorded the rhythm track at Sunset Sound Recorders in Los Angeles on March 13, 1973. Lennon played piano, George Harrison handled electric guitar, Klaus Voormann contributed bass. The track appeared on Ringo's 1973 self-titled album, which also featured Paul McCartney on different songs. Lennon explained the casting, saying, Ringo could declare himself the greatest without anyone getting upset. The recording stands as the only documented collaboration between 3 former Beatles in the decade between their breakup and Lennon's death.
You know what they told me? I was great.
Number 3, Step Inside Love by Cilla Black.
Night and day, step inside love.
Written specifically for television. By 1968, Liverpool singer Cilla Black had graduated from pop stardom to hosting her own BBC variety series, simply titled Cilla. She needed a theme song, and Paul McCartney personally delivered one. Step Inside Love became the show's signature, airing weekly across Britain. Black released it as a single in March 1968, reaching number 8 on the UK charts.
On my way, step inside love.
The Beatles also informally jammed through the song during White Album sessions, though this was never a formal recording intended for release. Fans finally heard a version on Anthology 3 in 1996. McCartney's warm, inviting melody perfectly suited Black's transition from chart sensation to beloved television personality.
Step inside love. Step inside love.
Number 2, it's 4, You by Cilla Black.
Never try to find somebody who'd be kind, came to only me.
Paul McCartney played piano on the session himself. After Cilla Black's remarkable run of UK hits, McCartney crafted something more sophisticated for her repertoire. He wrote It's For You as a jazzy waltz with dramatic chord changes, and George Martin conducted the orchestral arrangement for the session. Released in July 1964, the single reached number 7 in Britain, but stalled at 79 in America. Black remained close friends with all 4 Beatles throughout their career.
Came to only me, so I just tell them the right who wants the fight.
Brian Epstein managed both acts, creating natural opportunities for collaboration. McCartney's hands-on involvement demonstrated how seriously he took these outside projects, treating them as genuine creative endeavors rather than contractual obligations.
For you, it's for you.
Number 1. Goodbye by Mary Hopkin.
Leave your flowers at my door, I leave them for.
Blocked from the top spot by the Beatles themselves, Welsh folk singer Mary Hopkin became one of Apple Records' first major signings in 1968. Paul McCartney took a personal interest in her career, producing her debut single Those Were the Days, which topped the charts in the UK and across many other countries, though it peaked at number 2 in the United States, held off by Hey Jude. For her follow-up, McCartney wrote Goodbye specifically for her voice.
Tomorrow I will leave to go away.
Released in March 1969, the gentle ballad climbed to number 2 in the UK. The only single keeping it from number 1 was Get Back by the Beatles. McCartney had essentially competed against himself on the charts.
May my lover sing the lonely song and cause me to.
His acoustic demo remained unreleased until 2019, when it appeared on the 50th anniversary edition of Abbey Road. Hopkins' version remains a perfect example of McCartney's gift for crafting songs tailored to other artists' strengths.